Thank you guys for coming. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome to Striking Techniques. We're going to be looking at circular types of strikes. The most obvious one that you'll see in competitive sport fighting, UFC or boxing or kickboxing, are going to be hooks. So we're looking at upper body circular striking. We're going to look at hooks first. So from my stability stance, I'm up here. I'm going to raise my elbow. I'm going to do my lead hand first, which right now is my left hand. I'm going to raise my elbow, I'm going to make a fist, and that's my structure right there. Elbow raised, forearm to humerus at 90 degrees. Knuckles here, I can have this kind of vertical punch right here or this horizontal. Either way, there's pros and cons to each one. And then my body generates the punch. One of the biggest mistakes we see with beginners is they try to throw the hook like this, which is using just the arm, can cause damage to your shoulder, and also leaves me quite off balance. Even if I'm in good fighting stance here, and I throw just an arm, all my weight goes over there. So I want to use my body and pivoting off that front foot. So once I've got my hook into the right position, I almost punch the forward air with my hip. Boom. And that generates the force of that hook. Boom. It's not just the arm moving, it's the hip turning. Look how that just takes me. I don't have to move my arm full. Boom. But I want to raise that elbow. And I want to use the deltoid right at the end just to give a little bit more punch, excuse the pun. So boom, right there. This is my lead hook, rotating so that my toes turn 90 degrees towards the direction of the punch. My hip punches through to generate that force. Elbow raises, and a little hit with the shoulder at the end. Boom. Notice how my hand is protection, and as I do this, naturally that shoulder comes up to protect my jaw right here. Here's my lead hook, boom. From the other side, lead hook, boom. Hip and foot are generating the momentum for the force. Boom, boom. And other side right here. Notice the hip kind of punching towards you at the camera. Boom, right here. Elbow raised, boom. I can do it vertically here. I can also turn this into a slap. I elongate my arm a little bit, so I'm no longer at 90 because I've got a different surface area to punch with or to strike with. So there's that open face slap as well. Pop, pop. Looking for behind the jaw, the ear, side across the face for kind of like a neuromuscular distress. Slap, slap. Good. Same applies to the rear, except we have more momentum here. You have to be careful we don't over-rotate. So from here, I don't want to do this. You can see I've exposed my back and I'm off balance. So I just let it come to where my hand passes past my nose by about 4 to 5 inches. Boom. I don't let it go all the way over here. So rear hook, same principle. I rotate from the ball of my foot. Hip comes forward. Elbow raised. And then there's my hook. Boom. Rear hook. Rear hook. Rear hook. Rear hook, rear hook, rear hook. Good. And you could do that with the slap as well, which is a bit more effective if you're not used to punching with a fist. Really hitting someone across the side of the face, so that's going to have quite a significant effect on their neuromuscular system. So that's the hook. Another punch which is we consider circular is the uppercut. We'll see this in boxing a lot. Uppercut comes from underneath and punches up. So it's got this on a different plane. The hook is kind of on this circular plane here. Imagine I'm just churning. We used to say we were churning butter. Not that I've ever churned butter in my life, and not many people have, but I get the analogy. So I'm churning butter right here. For this one, I'm coming up. So it's on this circular plane right here, or almost like on a diagonal here. To get the uppercut, I can't just stay here and kind of throw my arm up. I rarely would throw an uppercut unless I've thrown something else and I have loaded my body so that I'm ready to throw that uppercut. So maybe I've slipped a punch, maybe I've thrown a punch and it's missed, and I've dropped to this kind of bob position where a lot of my torso weight is over my lead leg here. From here I rotate and pop up. Notice my hand doesn't go below my chin. Don't do this. Separate. Boom. I'm not separating the hand from my chin. My head goes down, I bow, I rotate up, shoulder comes to jaw, and a little pop at the end, just like the hook from the shoulder. So it's generated from the legs, but a little pop at the end. There's my uppercut. Rear hand the same. I'm dropping, I'm popping up. A little bit more separation there, because this hand has to come forward a bit more than the lead hand right here. So I drop, punch, drop, punch, drop, punch, drop, punch. Side. Make sure you load it up first. I'm not just doing it from here. I load and punch, load and punch. Other side, load and punch, load and punch. And that's an uppercut. The last punch we're going to use is the overhand. I used to get caught by this by C4 Lane Rono for the people I've trained back in the day quite a few times. It's a good punch, I think, for shorter people to use against taller people, and it's a great setup, I think. So the overhand, rather than it coming from low to high or from kind of around the corner on this horizontal plane, it's going to come from high to low. So I'm going to throw it very high, big separation here, so there is a risk with that. Very high, and then it comes down. The trick behind this, well, the trick that caught me every time I would get hit by it, was this slip. You slip right here, and what would happen, C4 Lane would slip over here, and I'd be like, hey, what you doing? And then this punch would come straight through and whack me every time. And even after I knew he'd do it, he'd get it with me. He had a great, great setup for it. So I slip here, and that punch comes over the top. Slip, overhand. I'm still punching the front here. I could come over with a hammer fist, but if I raise my elbow, it comes out of kind of peripheral direct vision, and it's easier to kind of hide it. So I slip, pop over the top. For the other side, I would step, slip, and come over the top here. So it's a rear hand strike predominantly when using this setup. Slip, separates, boom, come over the top. I've seen this used in the street very effectively from a tiny little guy against a huge guy. That video's gone around a bit. I've used it a couple of times myself. Maybe there's some people watching who've been caught by it, but I definitely learned it from C4 Lane Rono, who used to teach Jeet Kune Do at UCLA. So those are our circular punches. We've got hooks, lead and rear, which can be used as slaps. We've got uppercuts, a lot of body motion, a lot of leg power there. And I've got my overhand and my overhand. All different types of punch in a circular manner. Try them out, put 10, 20, 30, 100 reps in, come back, review the videos, and we'll work on some other stuff. Stay safe and enjoy your training, Bruins.